Yep. I kind of thought I was gonna Mines of Moria, but it did not. Like they did before. I guess I reached that. Unexpected. Don't trust this jump. There we go. Goodbye! I'm like, he has to die eventually, come on. Ugh. Full health potions make spooky sounds. Why do they sound like that? Or was that some sort of objective complete sound? Oh, that's the thing that fell down during the... yeah, in the room with the nasty boss dude. Nasty ass boss man. Hit. Yep, that's gonna hurt. Don't crash. I'm warning you. There we go. I'm like, don't you dare, don't you dare, don't you dare. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Okay, go over here. Oh no, it's, Percy? Was that his name? I can't keep doing this joke because I'm forgetting, I'm having trouble remembering if it's his name or not anymore. Because he was so unimportant. Can I go down here? Alright. Jumping for it. Peace out. Okay. Rude. Ow, by the way. Nope, that's what they sound like. What the hell? Okay, that's a pressure plate. Why is this called the epilogue? No one knows. It's kinda weird. What? The lighting engine treats all of the sarcophagi completely differently, it seems. Yeah, they're all so bright. Interesting. Alright, well this doesn't really amount to much. How am I gonna get down? Fuck you guys! Now you are my friend. I recognize this kind of layout. Did I just skip that room? They're just fighting it out? Not altogether sure. Oh, did these break? Where's the one dude? Where is he? Yes. Come. Please? Did you hear that? Did you hear that spooky sound? What was that? You should investigate it. Damn it, I thought these broke. There they go. Aw. Disappointing. You disappoint me. You can really get a lot done by just being up here the whole time. It's like the equivalent of Batman Arkham Asylum air ducts. Except for the part where I don't know where I'm going. So I'm really just guessing. I might not end up anywhere near where I need to go. Oh, dead end. Owie. I guess that might be a good thing to do. Friend. Ledge. That's less ledge than I was hoping, honestly. Just gonna be honest with... That's not even a ledge, it's just stairs. Shit.
I see my son has laid his mark upon you. You
Yeah?
have my thanks for his freedom. Erranteer shackles are undone. I shall help you to deal with this fool who has dared treat the souls of my heirs as slaves.
Is he gonna help me? He is. Neat. Oh, he's probably not getting up from that. How friendly of you. Oh, he's back up. He's really... There, yeah, he's bugging out like crazy, though. Ragdoll. That might be it. Are you a corpse yet? You're gone now. It's close enough.
It is unusual for
He has to die eventually, goddammit. Oh, even he died. The father went with him. Victory is mine. So, maxed out melee combat, maxed out strength, maxed out endurance. Really did go with all the melee skills, more or less, didn't I? Despite the fact that I was most interested in being a spellcaster and stuff like that. It's just a fact of life, is that when you go down spellcasting, you could just grab the spells, and you're like, alright, well I have the spells I want, and then you're done. You can go down to Magic Affinity to get magic armor, basically. Like, you can wear the magic armor, that's about it. It doesn't... Magic Affinity doesn't even say it makes your spells more powerful, it just says it gives you some more MP, which it would be nice, sure. It costs a lot of points. So at the end of the day, just survivability stats and melee stats are more immediately required. Kicking ass. Can't see shit. You're not the boss of me. Ow. Also ow. Ah! He didn't know he's right there. Got him.
the great peace shall soon be yours.
Pull your shield out. I don't want you to not have a shield, but you're so bad at drawing your damn shield. I probably killed him. Or not? Or yes. There it goes. Now he's dead. You can tell he's dead because zombies are dissolving in the background. That's always a good sign. It was a very good sign.
Stay where you are, infidel.
Hi. Ow, you got me anyway. Damn.
Your time has come.
What's hitting me? What's hitting me? What's hitting me? Isn't he still on my team? What was hitting me? Wasn't he a corpse? I'm not totally sure what was happening there, but it's fine. Please don't put like a fire trap around here. Oh! Did he not see me? There's basically nothing here. Find and take the Skull of Shadows from Arantur. That's it. Everyone hit that guy. Don't look at me. I'm a secret. I'm secret. I'm not real. Excuse me. You can't see me. I'm not here. Ignore me, please. Fight that guy. Excuse me. No. Nuh-uh, JK. Bye-bye. There's a density of these dudes. God damn. Uh-uh. Doesn't open? Hi. Nope. You guys fuck them up. Oh, must have made progress. I can't tell sometimes when I'm making progress. It's kind of a, it can genuinely be a surprise. It's a very beautiful game. Like, I love these locations. I just wish that they were brighter so I could see them. It's like, wow, look at these nice, articulate little cool indoor locations. I can't see shit. Is basically the follow-up thought every time.
There it is.
Ah, Jesus.
It's our last hope. We must take it back.
You
Don't
can't.
let it grow too soon. Fight its lure. Arantir cannot vanquish the two of us.
You can't just jump out of corners like that, man. Oh, that looks important. That looks pretty important. They really went all in with the rope bow, didn't they? Down to the very end. She can like fly down or something, right? I think that's how it works. I see bad guys all around. Can't wait. Oh shit, that was a terrible time to save. That's not my... Oh, I didn't mean to do that attack. I didn't mean to do that attack. Crap. Crap. I meant to mind control him. Everything's falling apart. So much for my awesome new armor that totally saves me with my awesome maxed out constitution. God damn it, I think I took even more hits that time. Just need an inch of space for a second here. I can heal. What is that? Vampire Knight shield. Neat, except my shield does stuff, so go away. I don't have a reason to care about a shield if it doesn't do anything. Where's my weapon? I drew my weapon. What the hell? Hi.
Arantir! It's over. Give me the skull, or I'll take it from your corpse.
Silence, boy. You have no idea of what is at stake here.
It's clear enough to me. If Arantir uses the skull, millions will die.
A few lives for an entire world. But above,
I guess there was a staircase that brought you down here. Are you gonna help at all, or what? Hey, buddy. You're not invisible. I can see you. Stop glowing and die.
Since our last discussion. But you have heard help. So in the interest of fair play, I shall
She's not helping me at all, you liar. Why can't I just grab the skull?
this. My centuries of effort and your scant 2 decades of life as a demonic dilettante. Ironic, no. Try to
Fuck me.
mage or necromancer. These are 2 sides of a same. But demons, the magics of Urgash and chaos, they are pure of all that exists.
How do I hurt you?
Souls, 2 hearts, 1 foot here and 1. I will never forget. You're a curse. And only the second.
Thanks for your help, Leanna. Did I win? Am I awesome? What is it back? Die, just die. God damn it. Leanna, you're supposed to be helping me. You bugged out garbage. Just grab the fucking skull. It's easy. I'm gonna go in the portal now. Bye. It's not working. Shit. Fucking climb it. What's wrong with you? Really? I feel like my attacks don't even make a sound effect. It's really weird. Like there's no impact sound. I can't tell when I can't even tell when I'm hitting him. He also does less damage per hit than the imps, which is weird. What hit me? Did the body hit me? Really? Am I doing something wrong, or is it just this is what the fight is? My swings don't even make a sound. Am I hitting it, or what? I can't tell. Just die. Just die. Come on, man. Grab it, grab it. Oh, that's what I had to do. That's, okay. Did it. What? Is there supposed to be an ending? I think I might have skipped the ending. Like, I might have accidentally pressed because I was in combat and it cut to it so abruptly, and they might have made a skippable ending cutscene. I think I skipped the ending? Weird. We'll get back to that in a minute to try to show it later. But I'm gonna go ahead. I guess we're already here. I mean, no. Let's go back. That has to be bugged.
There are none left who can seal away your father. You have beaten me and murdered the world.
No! We'll find a way to avoid his prophecies of doom and death.
My son, you have become even more than I had hoped. Ah, the blood that shall flow, the fires that shall rage. Bring me the skull.
But I thought you were dying. Are you not dying now? Or what?
Take thee.
What the fuck? Are you attacking me? Are we still fighting? Die. You're supposed to... Die. Ow, dick. What the fuck? You're supposed to be dead, aren't you? Die, 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 die. I'm not trying to fight you. So the game, so I didn't, I thought a cutscene just abruptly came up and I accidentally skipped it, but no, the cutscene, no, the game just glitched out and rolled credits instead of showing any of this ending segment. That's bizarre. Oh, I'm frozen. Don't stand in front of me, I might hit you in a second. Is he supposed to be alive right now? What's going on? I think the game bugged out and he's back, but he's invincible because he is invincible. I don't know if I even can kill him. Because he might be like a bugged scripting thing. But he's also so weak, which is weird, because all the basic enemies in this game are so strong, and he sucks. Alright, well I'm gonna... What do I do? Excuse me. Use it on the altar to master its power for yourself, or take it to pyramid to free your father. I'm gonna become a badass. I'm gonna become a badass.
10 centuries shall the fortress stand, walls of spirit wrapped in walls of fire. And horned lords shall bow their heads to one not yet born of the darkest sire. 1 century of blood and strife. The moon shall darken and none know why. The resting place at last is found of the 7th who soared so high.
Traitor! You've grown as weak as your mother! Curse you and Isabel for failing me!
Have strength, Zareth! Use some of mine if you must! Ah! Hurry!
Enough! Let the work begun by the 7th dragon be finished, here today, by my hand.
Betrayer! I shall hunt you like a cur that you are, you and your pretty friend! Remember that I am ancient and patient. One day I will be free, and I will teach you the full measure of agony!
From greed or fear he will decide, the chained one is left alone. The relic's power yet untapped, and Ashan's fate still yet unknown.
So there's the actual ending. That was weird. It skipped the entire decision at the end and all the dialogue that contextualized what was happening and just ended instantly. That was weird. Huh. Huh. This is Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. It's easy to see why it stuck with me as being an interesting game I wanted to go back to. It's also very easy to see why it was a seemingly... I guess it must have been some kind of like critical or not critical financial failure. I don't think like it was trying to reboot a universe and it was baiting for sequels and it didn't get sequels and they went on to eventually make Dishonored way later under a different publisher, I believe entirely. Yeah, I forgot who does Might and Magic as a franchise, like who publishes that. Oh, wait, no, it's Ubisoft. Duh. Yeah, obviously. It's such a great game, and it's such a horrible game. Like, I'm so torn on so many levels. I had so much joy and fun throughout this thing, and also just tearing my hair out on so many little things. Like, it's really easy to say what's good about it, because it's just kinetic, frantic, like scrappy combat where a bunch of dangerous things are going after you, and you're like kicking them off cliffs and using a rope bow to climb up to weird places and deal with things, and you're knocking people into traps, and you're springing a chandelier so it swings back and forth across a room over and over again. Like, some of the highlights moments for me were the chandelier room, where the chandelier goes back and forth over and over again, and you can keep luring more people into its path. Or the ruins that you first see when you first arrive on the island, and there's orcs everywhere, and you have to try to systematically take them all out. Like, there's so many great moments, usually denoted by locations where there's lots of cliffs and lots of spikes. I liked that one area where you were fighting a bunch of orcs while you were climbing up the cliffs and staircases that were leading up to the ruins. I generally liked everything that was outside better. The ruins are a bummer. This game has so many levels that take place in tombs and ruins where you usually fight enemies that are less fun to fight, while being in locations that are less fun to be in. And entire swaths of the game I'd rather skip. Like, if this game had like a campaign where it's like, here's each mission, you can load them up individually, like Halo, for example. Everyone has their favorite, everyone who plays Halo, at least, I mean, has the first game in particular has like their favorite levels from throughout that campaign. Like, in particular, you might really like to play like the first 5 missions, and you might really like to play like the Maw at the end and see the big ending, but like there's certain missions in the middle, like the library, you're more likely to skip over entirely. And I think there's a decent amount of that in this game. Is just there's entire chunks of the game where it's just not what anyone would necessarily want out of the game, and it's just kind of not the point. The story's pretty crap. There's almost no characters in the story, and very little. There's not a ton of plot going on, and even the plot that is going on is even somewhat underexplained at times. Oh, weird. Is that typo font in that guy's name, where it's a square instead of whatever letter it's supposed to be? A little tired. I kind of wanted to just finish this game tonight, but it's a little later than it should be. Beautiful game for its time, and also a lot of it's aged really well, while a few little pieces here and there are like, ugh, look at that guy. But I love the combat system. I want it to be refined and better, like swinging at people and just missing, and there's so many moments where I'm like, I don't understand, how can you, like, the hitboxes are just so unforgiving in a weird way at times, and there's just some balancing issues here and there and things like that, and just the campaign, you almost get a sense that the campaign people didn't fully know what was going to be ultimately the legacy of this game and why it's remembered and why it's great, which, I mean, that's normal, because entire chunks of the campaign are just not what the game's good at. In particular, boss fights are crap. That entire ending boss fight was just kind of some embarrassing flailing where it didn't complement any of the mechanics of the game, and I'm just kind of sitting there waiting for it until I realized the thing I'm supposed to click on to continue, and most of the boss fights were similarly unimpressive or embarrassing or just not fun at all, because they fly in the face of the rest of the game. It actually reminds me a little bit of Deus Ex Human Revolution, where everyone's promoting those boss fights, which were like farmed out to a different studio entirely than the main people that made the game, and so they didn't mesh with the campaign at all, or even the play style that you might have. You're like, oh, you're a pacifist stealth guy? Screw you. Shoot this guy until they're dead and then murder them to death. And it's like, what? There's just, the boss fights don't feel like they match the rest of the game. Some games are good at that, some games are bad at that. Games like Mega Man and Dark Souls and Castlevania are fantastic at making the combat that works for exploration and walking around also work with fighting bosses generally. But a lot of games, when they add bosses, they just don't really mesh with how the rest of the game works. But yeah, I'm happy I played this game. It was super unstable and messy and kept crashing and having weird bugs, and I can't tell which ones of those are because the game's old and which ones of those are because that's always how it was, because by most accounts people say the game was generally unstable back in the day too when it was new. I don't really remember crashing problems necessarily, but I also played this game originally on the Xbox 360, which is actually kind of crazy to think about because moving around so fast and having such snappy like being able to run around and like snappily turn around and do all these really quick reactions and aiming and stuff like that on keyboard and mouse are so integral to my experience playing it this time that it's hard to even imagine that I played on a gamepad on the 360 but like 10 years ago. But I did. I think I might still have my copy of Dark Messiah. I actually didn't look. I might still have my Xbox 360 copy lying around here somewhere. But I'm playing on PC in this series because I'd prefer to. I don't remember constantly crashing, but that could just be memory. Because I also don't remember huge swaths of this game, especially the less good parts of it. Because all I really remember is the chaotic running around and knocking people into stuff, and you know, the scrappy, fun combat. So it's a bummer there was never a sequel. I would love to see a game in the style again. We kind of have that, obviously. There's the Dishonored games, which I've played on this channel, and they're really neat, and they do what they do. But there is a difference, kind of. Not a huge one. The Dishonored games really do scratch a similar itch while being much more refined. In particular, ignoring all the things I've said so far, one of the things that Dishonored does is it managed to actually set up characters so that the villains are like individuals. You learn about them as you're going after them, and so when you take down each villain, you're like, oh yeah, that's that guy, and this is his motivation, or this is his personality. Even if they are a bit simplistic and cartoonish, there's at least something going on, whereas this game kind of doesn't. And also they switched to the more System Shock 2 style progression system, because System Shock 2 has an item in universe that levels you up and lets you buy skills, and you get it as a reward for doing quests, but you also get it from exploration. You'll just find it everywhere. And that happened again in Dishonored and Dishonored 2 and Prey. Like, it's common enough throughout a lot of games that handle stuff this way. I think the BioShock games might have even done it, but I've played both of them so long ago that I'm kind of forgetting more specific details about how you progress. In this game, though, you arbitrarily get levels at certain points of the campaign, and that's it. And you don't get, like, exploration skill points. You don't pick them off the ground, and that's kind of a bummer. If the game had skill points of some form lying around, then that would make exploration a little bit better, because I did like the ruins were often, depending on which ruins you're talking about, like some of the ruins were better and some of them were worse, but specifically the brighter dungeon desert ruins were more fun to play in because they were big open areas with cliffs and spikes and stuff. But it was the dark tomb ruins where I'm like, I just want to leave. Can I leave? But in the desert ruins and stuff, there was like lots of secrets and exploration to do and cool stuff going on, and it would have been nice if you could find levels there, in particular because the game ran out of items. At some point there was just no more items left to give you, where you hit a point where you just had every weapon in the game and every armor in the game, and you were going to keep finding secrets, and your only reward was going to be that you got some health and mana potions, because all the actual unique stuff you've already had before, and that's a bummer. But yeah, thanks for watching like always, guys. I'd recommend giving this game a go if you think it looks neat, and especially if you think you can play it better than me, because I know I had plenty of goofs. I made plenty of bad choices over the course of the campaign. That's fine, but it's neat. I'm happy I played it. Might even play the game again one day. I don't know if it'd be on YouTube necessarily, but I mean, like, this is a game I might come back to every few years, the way I come back to some that are just interesting enough or scratch a specific itch. And I think that this is one of those games, and that's one of the better compliments I can give a game, just because so many games are sludgy, let's say, especially sequels and stuff like that. Like I think of like Like, I played Far Cry 4, and I was kind of like, I don't really care about the fact that they'll make Far Cry Primal, for example, or Far Cry 5. I only got my interest perked in Far Cry 5 because they had a co-op, and I had somebody who wanted to play co-op, and like, all right, yeah, sure. Or like, Shadow of Mordor was cool, but Shadow of War comes out, and I'm like, I already did it. But this is a game that was interesting, and I like having a weight to everything and having to worry about how to manage enemies and having pressure during combat in a way that this was like a precursor to what eventually would be a split for RPGs with me. And some people experienced the split and some people didn't. But a good example is that in 2011, years after this game came out, we got Skyrim and Dark Souls at the same time, basically. They're like a month apart from each other. And Skyrim is so floppy. And it's wide open environments. And it's time-consuming quests and gathering and exploring and wandering. And the combat's so flaily and unengaging. And it's a busy work RPG, which is what Bethesda largely makes nowadays. And if that's your thing, that's your thing. I'm not even saying that it doesn't have good story or art or whatever. I never got far enough to even appreciate any of that because it just wasn't engaging. And that's because I was so engaged with playing Dark Souls, a game where the environment is so compact and carefully pieced together and has so many directions and things to explore, and your character has like your character build and your combat, like everything has a weight to it and consequences, and every single fight is worrisome because anyone can take you down in an instant. And it's like that split, and like this Dark Messiah in many ways I think was a precursor to going that way, in a way that not a ton of things always were, especially things you might call an RPG or something like that, aren't necessarily going that way. But I'm just ranting at this point, which is the usual for the credit roll. Thanks for watching like always, guys. Thanks for coming with me down memory lane, I guess, in this older game. I'm going to try to play older games more, but this is a bad time for me to say that because I think I'm going to air at long last tomorrow the Dark Souls 2, not Dark Souls 2, what? Teach Andrew Soulsborne series, which is like Demon Souls and Dark Souls. The goal was just to start Souls games and just keep going until we made it to the end of a Souls game with Andrew, where he's the one playing. I never touch the controller. All I can do is give him advice here and there, and I'm just there for commentary otherwise. And he has to beat a Souls game. We recorded a few months ago, and I keep not having time to put it out because there's so many things, and I'm just gonna finally just pull the trigger and just do it, and just to be like, no, we're doing it now, because it never feels like there's a right time in the schedule to clear out for that. So I'm doing that next. But after that, we might have more time to go back, because I want to play more, not only just classic RPGs, but also just older games. I have like a list of things I'd like to get to, so hopefully we'll have time for some more of that stuff. We'll see. It never feels like the right time, so no promises. Thanks for watching like always, guys, and I'll see you next time.